especially at the beginning. If the parents, the family can commit in terms of their time and financial, you might need to look into like, can they come twice a week or 3 times a week so that we can speed up, we can speed up in terms of coaching the parents and get the child more ready to listen using their cochlear implant. And for assessment, remember, our therapy is still driven by assessment, but the assessments may be non-standardized. It's not something like you use a standardized language skill or, a standardized test to find out where the child at. But you can consider use a checklist that your clinic have developed or the tools that I listed just now to guide you to look at what is the child at right now and what are the things that we can look into and build from that. And remember, the therapy oftentimes is a diagnostic therapy. That means you screen the child, you assess the child, but don't spend the whole 6 months or 3 months to just do assessment. Remember, a child doesn't learn when you're doing the assessment. They only learn when we are teaching them. So do use diagnostic therapy where you get a preliminary idea about where the child is at right now. Then you start off with some therapy. Then you find out that, okay, this is something that missing out. Put it in your notes and then think about that and then plan something to address that missing part again in the next session. So that way we can help the child to make progress, as fast as possible. And to make the child involved in the session and be very motivated to learn, we need to keep our session play-based, but it cannot be too play-based until we forget about our goals. So with children who receive cochlear implant late, oftentimes the session has to be quite structured. I will call it play-based plus structured because we are playing something very fun, but there is a lot of repetition or discrete trials that I will get the child to listen and respond in that play session. And when we look at the approaches, we say that since the child get cochlear implant, we will not tell the parents, okay, now you get the cochlear implant, but your child is 5 years old, we're not going to work on audition. No, it's not. We're gonna pick the listening and spoken language as our first intervention first. But remember, this approach might change over time. So imagine a child comes to your clinic at 5 years old, receive cochlear implant at 5.5. Maybe after a year, the child needs to learn sign language for the education purposes. So to work on listening, I like to use a lot of listening detection games. I think it's crucial to look at this. It's not something you can just brush off like that, because this part will turn the child into someone who enjoys listening. So we don't want a child who receives cochlear implant and then use the cochlear implant only in therapy setting or only when I learn. We want the child to learn to listen and realize that, oh, listening is fun, listening is useful. So I use a lot of detection game. Depending on the child's age, you might need to modify certain games so that they don't look too childish for the child. You can start off with something like, I like to call it listen and turn or listen and respond. You can use musical toys, noise maker, or even the alarm on your phone. Set it to ring 10 seconds later. And then when the alarm goes off, the child has to look for the phone. You can even try out this find the key, or we call it car key game. Get a container like this, 2 containers like this, and you put some toys or some keys in one of the container. You shake the container one by one, and then you wait. If a child goes open the container that produce noise, that shows that the child realized sounds means something's in the container. So in a way, you are looking at detection, but you're also teaching the child that sound has meaning. That will encourage them to use their hearing, their listening, more in life. And another fun thing I like to do is this dance to music. So play music and dance together with the child, and then pause the music, everyone stop dancing, and then repeat it again. So it is fun, and in a way that the parents can also involve other children. So it's like a family listening time together. And door knocking, I find it very useful, especially with children who receive cochlear implant late